Yeah. Oh, you got called out, Larissa.
Same Nicole. Oh,
I was like, oh, I'm the only one.
Where's
I'm
the
only
baby?
one.
What is it?
I
do have to update it. I pulled this out of like never reaching something.
Wait, hold on. What? Where was putting the cards at? Sit here, look at Jen's card. I mean,
My husband's card.
oh, there you go.
I am out. I have like two at home.
Okay.
I
We need some more.
I'm gonna get some more.
I don't have a business card, so.
Look at that.
Like all?
Well, good morning, everybody. It's 10 o'clock. We need to get started. I want to be very aware of the time so that we don't, we use Highland Homes time very well. Let's thank Highland Homes for bringing us breakfast, number one. Thank you, guys. I'm going to actually hit our core value and then give them the floor. Today, we are fans of feedback. Mistakes are opportunities to grow. We believe mistakes can be gifts if we treat them as opportunities to learn. Our culture believes in being open, honest, and transparent with our shortcomings and using them as lessons to grow, improve, and push forward. We are excited to both receive and give feedback and hold to the idea that to be clear is to be kind. Now, Jamie, I think we've talked about this before, has added a 14th value, which kind of ties into the back of this, is that not only is the idea that clear to be kind is there, but it's also closing the loop, being sure and following up with when somebody gives you something or does something, it's always good to close that loop and say, hey, I've got that. I've handled it. Whenever I pass a lead to someone, I love it when they respond with received. Thank you. That just lets me know I've got it. I'm handling it, and we'll go from there. And they're taking selfies right now, which is awesome. That's awesome. And the 6th Ave office. So let me introduce Ginger, Troy, and Lance. Is that right? Lane. I'm sorry. I was close. I missed the 6. I had too many.
Okay. I am Ginger, Highland Homes, Tabolo Park. I have one opportunity left in Tabolo Park. We haven't even started it yet, but it'll be the last opportunity for Highland Classics. Rumor has it, it's a strong rumor, that will be coming in phase 5 into Willow Park with an artisan product. Do y'all know the difference?
No.
Okay, so how to describe? So classics, it's a little nicer, like we've got those 13-foot ceilings in the classics. Artisans on one story, it'll be more like 11 feet. So what you have seen, if you've been down to Willow Park and walked the houses, that's what you can expect for our last house there. And then contact me for details. So, and then I just moved up to Wildflower, which is just west of the Speedway, right? And it's a great neighborhood. We only have 10 lots left in our current phase, and then in January we're expecting a new phase. We are selling artisan 50s and 60s, starting from 440, and we have 10 specs for March if you have people out there looking for first quarter. And that, I'll turn it over to these guys.
Well, you get more Wildflower.
Oh, yeah. That's my Wildflower inventory homes, 10 of them. So we're coming out strong for spring.
Is this kind of out by our house?
It is west of the Speedway, just like what, 8 minutes?
Yeah.
Maybe not even.
It's near Rome in Justin.
Justin. Mhm. Yeah. So this is where we are currently. This is my model now. Holly just came up to see the other day. We're moving into new models October and then November. So we'll contact you guys. We'll do kind of a grand opening, I think is what we're talking about doing. And the models are, of course, beautiful and over the top and all of that. There's the lazy river in this area here, and they're moving the dirt already. They're going to build a big community center and a big pool and a big play area. And it's the conceptual drawing of it looks quite beautiful, and it will be great for the neighborhood. There's already 3.5 miles of trails. So there'll be 3.5 more. And in this area, they're talking about a dog park, which I think will be a great feature. And they just opened this elementary school. Yeah, sorry, you go now.
Now we're moving to Walsh.
Walsh.
Oh, wait, that's still
That's still me.
That's still you.
Okay.
Cover that. Lazy River.
Yeah.
I'm Todd. This is Lane, and we're partners out in Walsh. what were you gonna talk about? You're gonna do inventory?
Sure.
Okay, we didn't really plan it very well, what we were gonna talk about.
Inventory. Okay, so we have a lot of inventory. Who's not been to Walsh? Okay, 1, 2, 3.
When are we gonna get you?
to go.
Anyone that I can't see? Okay.
Personal tour, we'll both take you around.
Here's the thing, you have to come see us, just because we have
Yeah.
price points from 4 to 8. We have townhomes, we have 50-foot lots, we have 60-foot lots. Our townhomes are amazing. We have 2 series of the townhomes. One series is kind of down by the community center, the athletic club. You walk out the front door and you've got a block to the fire pits, to the pickleball courts. It's like a downtown, well, not downtown vibe, like a walk score of 100 to get to the market, for the cookie. To
It's
get
like
to
a
the gym.
resort. It's like we're living in a resort.
Yeah, and then you have the other series of townhomes that's more embedded in the community, kind of further on the west face, but they're just as nice, just very different. And again, being Walsh, of course, is a huge thing. But we also have, most importantly right now, me and Todd have about 5, 6 homes that are ready to go. Completed, decked out beyond all wazoo, and all kinds of options designed. We want to move these. We want you to help us
Very
move this.
motivated.
We are paying 3% commission.
Goodness.
We are, we're on board with just helping you guys sell us homes. So please,
Andrew, how easy are we to work with?
Oh, it was great. Not even 4 hours later, we got contract.
cha-ching, right? On all sides.
Well, we went to look at other houses too. We're like, no, we gotta go back to Washington to see them. And say, go back to Highland.
Say that one more time and record it. No, but we truly do. We have inventory, and just know you can call us. Our information's out here. We're a team, so you can come out Monday, 8, Wednesday, Saturday, Friday. Doesn't matter who you talk to. We'll both help you out. We're just here to sell homes with you, and that's what we have. We'll talk incentives.
Yeah, we plan on having a realtor partner on every one of our deals. So come on out. If you can't make it, let us know that they're coming out. We'll take care of it. We'll give you a report on what happened. You're on there. We make it as easy as possible. Our whole business is around you because we make you happy. And everybody gets what they want. So it's
So I noticed that you guys have the 60-foot wide lot, the 50-foot wide lot, and then you also got the villas and the patios. So
Yeah.
tell us about the villas and the patios.
There's 2 different townhome styles. The patios are so awesome, very kind of urban feel. There's a patio right off of the family room. Door opens up. You're out on this beautiful patio. It's all gated in, with iron gate. You can sit out there, enjoy your neighbors, enjoy the air. They're so amazing. These are 20-foot ceilings in the family room. So you're not feeling constricted. There's tons of windows, a lot of natural light. That's the way they were designed. And then the villas they have a regular front yard. They all have somewhat of a yard space, even the interior.
I'm on the villas right now.
Okay. Yeah, even the interior plans have a little porch in the back and a patio in the back, and then a little bit of turf in the middle, and then the ends will have sod and grass. So if you have dogs or kids need a little place to play, although the whole neighborhood, there's parks everywhere. It truly is like living in a resort. You got Overlook Park, has a massive slide built into the side. Oh yeah, here we go. So these are there's a door that opens up from the family room onto this little covered porch area. Patio. And the patios, we've extended those down. They're about another 4 feet bigger than even what the model shows.
So are those 1 stories, the villas?
They're 2 stories. All of the townhomes are 2 stories. Now the villas have 2 townhome styles that are primarily on the first floor, but the patios are all bedrooms up. Yeah, and they're all 2.5 bath, 3 bedroom with a loft area.
So that's kind of what they look like from the front.
Yes,
So there's 3 of them in a block.
3 to 4, depending on the building.
Okay. And so that's the patios, and then this is the villas.
Yeah, these are the patios. The other one was the villas.
Huh?
Yeah, these are the patios.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, the patios have a little patio.
I forgot to share that tab. I was looking at it.
You were showing the right exterior.
On my side, it looked great.
But they're really amazing. They still give you the full feel of single family home. Just neighbors a lot closer.
I'm just kind of flipping through your pictures here.
Yeah, so we have a maker space. So if you have somebody that's into woodworking and doesn't want to have to take up their whole garage with all the, the table saw, band saw, drill press, CNC machine, all that. The maker space has all of that set up for our residents. It is so cool. I've never seen a neighborhood that has something like that. We have a 10,000 square foot fitness center. It is huge. It has something for everybody. And then there's a little dance studio in the back where they do classes. They were doing senior chair Pilates or something.
They
the
go
other
yoga
day.
yesterday.
Yeah, they did goat yoga in the park. Lake Park, yeah, see, there's a 10,000 square foot fitness center. It's massive. There's just something for everybody. Trails throughout the entire neighborhood, tennis courts / pickleball courts, 2 dog parks, sand volleyball, currently 2 pools, the Junior Olympic lap pool, and then the play pool for all the kids with the slides. The next phase will have a 3rd pool. Lake Park has a 2-tiered playground, a swimming lake, catch and release fishing, non-motorized boating. It's just incredible. We have our own market right in the neighborhood. So you just get down and get in your golf cart, tool down, get your milk, cheese, your wine, your specialty meats.
All the
Yeah.
essentials.
Yeah,
All the essentials.
yeah, meat and wine. You got it all.
And it's good wine too. It's not just like
Yeah.
a little box.
What's the HOA?
What,
Go ahead.
so what's cool about that is that HOA includes a lot of things. It includes 2 gig fiber to every house. And so your internet bills, however much they are in most places, it's actually 2 gig. Front yard maintenance, so they'll mow, they'll weed eat, they'll blow, they'll fertilize, 14 times a year. And then access to all that fun stuff, the gym, membership, things like that. It's anywhere from, for the 50s and 60s, we have $210 or $219 a month. And again, factor back in internet bills and gym bills. The townhomes are a little bit more, but they're $280 or $360. And the main difference is simply your homeowner's insurance will be significantly less than what it would be on an HO3 single family. Like the last 2 that we've seen and told about $800, $748 for a year for the insurance, because the HOA dues are covering your roof and your exterior, your studs in. So it's very reasonable once you kind of break it all down.
Yeah. That's so fun.
Great.
So who's coming out first? Yeah. We just brought out a new closing cost incentive for when you're using Highland Home Loans, $20,000 to be used towards buying rate down, closing costs, prepaids, any mortgage related with Highland Home Loans. If for some reason you just have to use an outside lender, we still have $9,000 for an outside lender because we sell homes, not mortgages. And then depending on the product line, we also have money towards options, or if it's an inventory, off of price. So that's in addition to, and that's not tied to any particular mortgage company. So we will definitely take care of you. We've got a lot of really nice incentives right now. The rates are down. So let's take advantage of that and sell a bunch of homes together.
Please,
I love
please.
Yes.
Any questions for us? You're allowed 3 each.
Thank you guys so much for coming. Thank you for breakfast. Thank you for being our partner. Thank you for being a sponsor for 6F. We really appreciate you guys. We look forward to you coming.
You guys are just amazing to work with.
And eat.
No, thank you for that.
Bye. Thank you. I'll put all these QR codes for all their products. I'll put those in my slides this afternoon in the Slack follow-up. Okay, so announcements. Next week will be breakfast with Texan Spec at 9:45. Thank you all for coming at 9:45. I always feel silly when I'm the only one here and they bring in food and I'm the only guy standing here. So coming at 9:45 makes me feel less of a heel. Christmas sponsors are needed for the Christmas extravaganza. If you guys remember last year, we had Santa Claus and reindeer. Well, this year we're doing Santa Claus and 2 reindeer.
2 reindeer.
So that's here at the office, and that's going to be December
It's December 7th from 1 to 3.
1 to 3.
Agents really told to 4.
Yeah, we get here early. It's a place for your clients to come. It's a place for you to invite other people. What we need is sponsors to help us offset the costs of Santa Claus and 2 reindeer.
So,
Those things eat a lot of hay.
but they do. And we also have some other obviously we've got sponsors for food. We want to do like a hot chocolate and coffee bar type thing. And activities. We'll probably do cocktails like we did for a party on the patio. But we did get Santa for free. So if he looks shaggy, y'all just have to give me.
We've
grace.
seen pictures. He doesn't.
I mean,
look
exactly,
good.
like, okay, but anyways, we
We
got
need to like get here early and dress him up.
maybe. Don't worry, I'll have a plan B. But really, we just need sponsors. We usually do increments of like 250 to 500. Some of our bigger sponsors, lenders or whatever, will fit the bill for 500. Some of our home warranty or whatever, we do 250. Inspectors or whatever. We're still working on a few people, but it really helps. We're also going to do personalized ornaments
For
for
agents to purchase
agents
for their clients.
for their clients. So we're working on some of those options. So and if you want us to reach out to the connection, we can. We've got a whole email typed up, or we can send it to you and you can make the connection.
It's sometimes easier if you do have, for you guys to do it because we don't know them. We've already exhausted all of ours.
We did.
unfortunately.
We kind of used our sponsors for the last couple of
So
events we
that's why we're
had. So
struggling
they're
a little
sort
bit.
of like, everybody's trying to climb through this economy. And so we wanted to give our people that typically give us sort of a break and a reprieve until business picks back up.
So are you wanting somebody to give money or somebody to man the hot chocolate station or the drink station?
So ideally, we always want to invite our sponsors if they're willing to, help out and do. It's great for your sponsors to show up and get interaction with our clients and our team and things like that. That's probably more of an advantage for them
Yeah.
than just handing money. I mean, they're not going to get much by just handing a check.
Yeah.
And that's really what we're trying to create is reciprocation with our trusted partners. So yes, we'd love to have them. They want to come and provide a hot chocolate and coffee bar and interact with everyone, agents and clients. That would be ideal. I mean, sometimes they just want to give money, so it doesn't matter either way. But yeah, any help helps.
So contact Holly, please, in your Slacker. Has everybody given me a business card? If you haven't, I need it right now because they have 4 drawings we're about to do for Highland Homes.
Yeah.
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 So if you don't have a card here, I need it.
Hang on.
Right
now, Holly's
now,
online.
for me.
Dun, dun, dun,
Wait,
dun,
are they here?
dun, dun.
Oh my God.
Pressure. Just pick one. Pick one. We'll know it's yours. Get ready, real estate. Get ready. I got a Costco card. That
That's not
works.
gonna be obvious.
I don't care. Something.
Eyelash lady.
That's right. We just need something in the box. So, all right, everybody in. Everybody in. Okay.
Make sure you get the Costco card. I'll take.
Okay, how do you?
Don't be trying to put mine at the bottom.
I'm gonna put it in the middle somewhere, but I'm gonna make it so that if he picks it, it'll just be
Actually,
that.
have somebody else's business card.
That'll be fine. Why don't you do that?
I would feel
You
bad
don't
if
want
I
mine
didn't
and
pick the
it's all
Costco
that
card.
No, no,
I'll
put your name on it.
Everybody in.
Oh, I'm sure they're in my back.
The worst.
Right, Tasha's name on mine.
Huh?
Mine's still pending.
Just give me that card.
Yeah.
Whose is that?
Mine. Here, Maria Ventura.
Okay, you're Maria Ventura.
Here, this is.
No, don't share it because it needs to be a full card or
I
it'll get
know, I
picked.
just shared it, so she knows it's for Tasha. This
Yes.
card is already taken
Well,
from her.
I've got a Costco card for
So that
her.
way, no matter what, who wins.
So I'm just gonna do like this. Once you close your eyes and just pick one, and I'll put it up there, and you just pick one.
To the left, to the left.
Not yet.
That's right.
First one goes to Maria.
She didn't get part of it. Okay, here we go again.
Second one goes to the last lady.
All of you with your own cards.
Okay, here we go.
That's funny.
This goes to Holly.
A real.
Is it torn?
Is it torn? No, that's
Oh,
not it. It's torn. That's fine.
Well, we're 100% so
With
far.
all the non-words.
Okay, here we go. Last one.
Kiva. Hi. Here, let go, right here. Perfect. Thank y'all.
Thank you.
Appreciate you guys.
Thank y'all so much.
Let me get you a real card.
Okay. So
Eyelash lady.
put your names in. Here's Lash Lady bag. Here's Maria's belly bag. Kaja, here's yours. Kaya. Patty's
They not-
here.
they not one.
There's,
We did, we already gave them back, so it's okay.
Andrew,
Well, half of them weren't even.
who had the Vernon Erickson? Who had Vernon Erickson? Okay, that's yours. Okay, there you go. All right, very good. See, come to the meeting, you might win something occasionally. That's something we do. Okay. So we get the Christmas sponsors. I think most everyone here has at least checked to see if you've done your code of ethics. I hope.
I've got it.
Maria Gonzalez, I think, is the only one that needs it, and she said she'll do it when she gets back from Europe. So hopefully that'll be, everybody has done code of ethics because they will do some stuff. Okay, so I'm going to show you guys something in just a second, which is the last 3 weeks ago, we filmed a bunch of commercials for 6F Homes. Now, these are for Pull and Outdoor, for design and construction, and then it kind of ties in because we say 6F Homes is the brokerage in commercials as well. These aren't specifically for brokerage, but they're for 6F Homes at the global level, okay? So we're going to show you a couple of these commercials in just a second. I'm not sharing them yet because they're actually going out today, and so you might see them in the wild on Instagram, Meta, and Google. That's where the ads are going to be running. Next, the photo shoot. I sent everybody that has signed up. I sent you a color guide through email about 30 minutes ago. Just look at the color guide. You ladies will get it. Me, I had to have somebody explain it to me what they want. So it's blues, browns, tans, light colors. That makes the web page look uniform on our team page. Okay, so I'm going to go over here and show you guys. I think that's the next slide. It is. Okay. So we're going to see the dog days of summer. This is
hot, tired, longing for a cool escape. Transform your backyard into a personal oasis with 6F Homes, your one-stop shop for buying, selling, design, and construction.
that one's called Dog Days of Summer. This one is called Dream Come True.
From an empty lot to endless possibilities. At 6F Homes, we're your one-stop shop for finding, fixing, and financing a home that feels like you. We're with you every step of the way. 6F Homes, creating homes, building community, real estate with soul.
Okay,
like that.
that is Dreams Come True. This one is called Mother-in-Law. Oh, hang on. Let me start
Size.
over. Helps if I do the right thing. This one is called this one's called Mother-in-Law.
Sometimes size really does matter. Even for your mother-in-law.
Okay. This one is called Our Yard is Too Small.
Who needs a big backyard when you've got big dreams and 6F Homes? Bar and grill, cascading waterfalls, custom lighting. 6F Homes helps you make every square foot your own.
Okay. Then this one creates a small. This is fun.
Who was in the closet?
Lauren and Kayla were in the closet kicking stuff out, and then they made the video shake as in post production. And then this one creates a new Hollywood star named Holly Elrod.
A house that grows with you. Adapts to your ever-changing needs. And always feels like home. Sixth Ave Homes, your one-stop shop for a lifetime of real estate needs.
I would do differently is showing how they sold it and bought a new one. Transition.
Well, it was the same house though. That was the point, that was for design and construction. They stayed in the same house. So
It's changed over the years.
the mom and the dad bought the house. That's why I had my baseball hat on backwards. And we moved in and then our daughter, and then our daughter came home from high school or college, picked her shoes off. She's in trouble. And then she comes back with her husband and her baby, and we stayed in the same house. That was the
And you
point.
made it your own throughout the years.
Made it through your own. So that was the point of that. So anyway, I hope that you guys like those. You may see them in the wild. We're excited about them being there. Let me go back here. Okay.
Dog Days of Summer. Oh, you missed it. Your baby was in there.
I gotta see that one. Thank you.
Is that your pool?
Hot, tired, longing for a cool escape? Transform your backyard into a personal oasis with 6 Ave Homes, your one-stop shop for buying, selling, design, and construction.
Lauren's parents.
He's shaking.
Okay. 6 Ave swag is still available. The QR code will be in here. This is where you go to pay for it. You pick it up on the merch wall back here down the hall. Please get the new shirts. We've got new shirts out there. The cowboy, cowgirl, and then there's 3 other designs that are brand new. I'm sorry? That's the way it works. All right, let's talk about the market real quick. New home sales are up nearly 10% versus last year. That's new home. While the median price is down almost 5% from a year ago. Sales dipped modestly in August after a big gain in July, their largest monthly increase in nearly 2 years. The pending home sales index of signed contracts on existing homes edged ahead in August. There's a slight upward turn, reflects a modest improvement in housing affordability, which is a welcome sign. More buyers keep showing up as purchase mortgage applications posted an increase for the 3rd week in a row. It was up 3.6% week over week. Boosted by a surge in refinances, mortgage applications are now at the highest level in more than 2 years. So we're starting to see that wave start to build because people are getting approved for the mortgages. I don't know if you guys saw showings were up 8% nationally last week over the week before. So people were starting to move around last week. Not necessarily, I didn't see it, but go ahead.
Literally the Wednesday that the feds announced everything.
Yeah.
Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and even Sunday, those 4 days were like filled with showings and then nothing last week.
Okay.
Except
that was
for-
on this side of the Metroplex. And then my Garland listing showed like 3 times in 2 days. And I got fired from a listing in Joshua and produced 4 showings in 96 hours.
Wow.
She still was like, no. So,
Okay.
anyways.
Yeah.
Rates. The national average 30-year fixed mortgage rate, it's down in Freddie Mac's primary mortgage survey, reaching its lowest level in 2 years. So this is information you should be sharing with your buyers. It's as low as it's been in 2 years. Remember 2 years ago? That was a lot. New agents, y'all don't remember that, but it's good. We're in the mid to upper fives now. Federal Reserve Watch. So the inflation read increased the likelihood of a 0.5% rate cut in November. I don't know if you guys have watched the news. I don't generally watch it, but Channel 5 had a story day before yesterday where the lady was talking about how all the rates have come down and it's a big deal and this is how much more house you can afford. And then she said, but there's another rate coming in November, so you'll probably want to wait for that.
Did somebody get a gun out?
I recorded it and I was going to show it to you, but the audio is awful because I told Misty, I was like, rewind that. I'm going to record that for everybody. But she said, there's another rate coming after the election. So you might want to wait for that.
Everybody's waiting on the election.
38%.
I actually think that I posted that story, and I think she went on to say, but if you wait, there was more. So go back. I mean, I've just pulled it off of NBC and I put it up there to say it's happening.
Mhm.
And if you want to wait, you risk.
Oh,
that
okay.
process. So there was more to that. Just so
Okay.
everybody knows.
Yes, Jana, the stats that we've seen say 38% of buyers that are currently thinking about buying are waiting until after the election to make a decision to move forward.
Yeah.
That's the number that I saw from
I
NAR.
feel it. I mean, I think you can just.
Yeah.
Well, and so, we're looking at the current rate is at 4.75 or 5, but then you add in the lender stuff. And so the rates are about 5.5 to 6 in that vicinity. So it's better than it has been. Okay. Did you know that, here's that stat. New listings last week came in at 8% ahead of a year ago, sending total active inventory 33% higher than this time last year. The median listing price was 1% lower, which are all encouraging signs for buyers. I saw, we're members at Austin Board of Realtors, so I get their stuff. Their house prices are where they're listed to where they're selling. They're selling at 9.2% below list price on average in Austin right now for the last month. 9.2% below list price is what Austin is selling at right now. I haven't seen our numbers for because we haven't seen September. All we saw was August. Well, things changed since August, so the numbers don't make sense. What their average is in Austin. Well, but they were significantly overpriced. Say
We're just saying you have to think about the inflation of home costs in Austin. Austin's a really unique market because there's not anywhere built. So demand is super, super high.
Have you seen the Facebook page where people moved from California to Texas, like to Austin, and now they want to move back because they're like, there's no ocean. Anyway,
I
don't know how it came up.
like Travis.
Yeah,
It's great.
No, I've seen where they moved California to Austin to DFW.
Oh,
Where they're
no.
sick of
Interesting. Okay, so business tip of the week: get more done in less time by scheduling your work in 20 to 30-minute time blocks. During those blocks, turn your phone off, turn off notifications, don't let others interrupt you, address issues, and check messages at the end of each time block. If you've been through the time block class that I do, that's part of one of the things that we talk about is when you're doing something, really focus on it. Because I'm a kid from the 70s, 80s, okay? And so we learned to multitask. And what we found was that that's terrible. It's terrible if you're trying to multitask and do multiple things at one time. Focus in, turn your phone off, move on, order business cards, that kind of thing. Right, Jen?
Turn your phones
Your phone's off. Okay. Okay. Lower rates attract refinancing. This is from NAR. The first week following the Federal Reserve's decision to start cutting interest rates showed some signs of life. No big rally in the real estate industry. Mortgage rates were particularly quiet this week, according to Freddie Mac's September the 26th survey. So this is really recent. We're talking 5 days ago. 30-year fixed rate mortgage averaged 6.08, down slightly from last week's 6.09. The 15-year rate ticked up to 5.16. Applications for mortgages jumped this week. Most of it came from those looking to refinance. The refinance index score rose 20% from the previous week, while the purchase index only rose 1%. So we can see people are refinancing on these rates. Why? That's my question. Debt, maybe. Okay.
Because I ran in, like, just this week, I ran into two situations. One, my cousins in Nevada wanted to upgrade to a house in their neighborhood, and the agent called me point blank and said, because I was like, they don't have their house in the market yet. And so I'm kind of like, hey, like, this is off chance, but they want to look at it. And she was like, no, we'll absolutely look and consider contingency, because if my clients don't get a contract, they're going to foreclose. And then I got a call yesterday from one of my friend's brothers that's in the oil industry and got laid off. And he was like, I just want to sell my house and take the cash and buy something that I can be free and clear. So I'm seeing a lot of, people are not in good shape.
Okay.
So I think the rates.
Imagine how there isn't a segment of the population that isn't feeling this, because you can go into foreclosure by just a deficit of $500 a month. Yeah. And if you've got your homeowner's insurance and your car insurance that have doubled, let's just layer that on the cake there. That's gonna stir up something, and then we have inflation on top of it.
People living off credit cards. Yeah. That's going to be
So we need to be having this conversations. Don't wait to foreclose. That is a nightmare. We can sell it short if we need to. We can get it sold if you got any equity, but we really need to be ready to have this conversation.
Brian, you had a comment?
So a lot of these refis, like I was at a house yesterday, we did an appraisal for them literally a year ago. They're just trying to get away from their just horrible rate. That's
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean,
Good to know.
most of my leads coming in right now, there's some hurt, some financial pain that they're
Okay.
having. to take
So
advantage
these are
of.
conversations we need to be having
Yeah.
then. Rates expected to remain steady. With the dust starting to settle after last week's announcements, rates are likely to stabilize with 30-year mortgage rates hanging around the 6 to 6.2 range. I've seen some of the lenders that come in here and do stuff for us. They're down in the mid fives. So there are things out there available for people. On a more optimistic note, purchasing mortgage applications, another leading indicator of home sales, are trending up in September, suggests that the once frozen housing market may be starting to thaw. Improving inventory. Redfin's rolling 4-week report found new listings up 7.6% compared to a year ago. Active listings are up 18.1%. Estimates the national month supply at 4.1, which what's a balanced market? 5 to 7. 5 to 7. 6 is the midpoint. Always has been.
Come on.
Uh-huh. We're close. We're close. Joining the rise in new listings is a jump in the median asking price, which is up 5.4% year over year. Redfin noted that 48% of all home listings have gone extra stale, sitting unsold after 60 days on the market. That's the highest share since August of 2019, so in 5 years. Well, they said it remains to be seen whether sales will speed up in any meaningful ways moving into the slower fall season. I've seen some reports saying that economists and NAR people are saying it should pick up soon. So just so you guys kind of know. I wanted to just basically hit the consumer guide series from NAR. I'm not going to go into these, but these are the ones that they have that are available. I'll put a link to where you can go see all of these on one page, but they've got why am I being asked to sign a written buyer agreement, open houses and written agreements, realtors' duty to put clients' interest above their own, what veterans need to know about buying a home, offers of compensation, negotiating written buyer agreements. That's all that's on that NAR thing. So the Broker Lawyer Committee and TREC is coming out with something new that's going to affect all of us.
Yay.
They're coming out with something called the T47 Declaration. It's a T47.1. It will no longer have to be notarized.
Oh, that's
Yay.
good.
So
like
that's
that.
they're voting on that in early November. This thing is confusing. It says TREC's proposed rule will be voted on the November commission meeting, but it's expected the proposal will be adopted with an effective date of November the 1st. How do you make it effective before you vote on it? But the T47.1 will call
We'll just change it on the 5th.
will be called the affidavit declaration. T47 declaration. So you'll have an affidavit or you'll have a declaration. Most people, why would you not use the declaration? You don't have to have it notarized. You know, that's just one of those things. Go ahead.
I would say, wouldn't you think Pride will just do it again at closing and
Yeah, they do
notarize
it.
it?
Yeah.
I mean, that's what they typically do anyways. If they don't.
Yep, I agree. Okay, so a bunch of you, I asked yesterday or day before yesterday to have some wins, some lessons that we can share and discuss. The point of this was that we want to have 20 minutes of discussion, which we're right on time. So I'm not going to talk. I'm going to ask the people that I asked to do this to bring their win or their lesson and tell me how that affects us. How can that benefit everyone as a whole? We're going to start with Brian.
I have, yeah, just from the.
Brian, would you come in here so that people online can see you, please? Yeah, you're good right there.
Okay. So just a reminder, just a reality from the appraisal world that, if you're paying cash, if you got a buyer paying cash, they can do whatever they want with their money, right? But when they're just putting a limited amount down, those buyers are buying their house with somebody else's money. And they just have to be smart about the plan. And there's just a report. I was literally on my computer before I left to come here. And so here's the storyline real quick. So started at 475, went down to 470 list price after 43 days on market, down to 460, 84 days on market. And then, wow, we have a contract for 490 with 29 foreign seller concessions.
Oh.
with 29,000?
29,400.
Oh, wow.
In addition to the paying the agent. And it's just like, I'm not far removed from a house that was almost a year on the market. We all have out, they just think they drag out. And we're just as a listing agent, we're just trying to just do anything we can to get a buyer. But just to be realistic, when times are tough and you get that offer and it just the buyer is saying, hey, I'm approved for a higher amount. We can get creative here and really help out your seller. Just be realistic, knowing that you might not make it to closing. If just there is a limit to how creative and I'm having to, be the bearer of bad news, on the deal, because even the listing agent CMA was right at 460. So don't, when you send a contract for 490 with maybe it was like 17,000 down, and yet they're supposedly paying 29 for it, seller concessions. It's just a mess. So just a reminder, just we all, do as much as we can, but just try and be realistic about the limits of how creative you get.
Thank you, Brian. Thank you for that. Let's go to Holly.
So mine was.
Come stand over here so people can see you.
Oh. So mine was more of a lesson. I, like 4 years ago, sold a house in Bowie, brand new roof. She decided not to do the walkthrough, so I got her to sign off that she wasn't going to do a walkthrough. Didn't think anything of it. Her insurance agent went out there that day of closing and funding, had already funded to write her insurance rider and deny her roof because of workmanship. I would have, if we would have done the walkthrough, we couldn't see up there, but regardless, that wasn't the lesson there. But the lesson was, I am like super adamant on roofs now, especially now with all the insurance stuff, because of that situation. So there's been 2 situations in the past year where the roof was questionable. And I just fought tooth and nail for my buyer because I knew that potentially if they closed and funded, their insurance agent wouldn't write the binder for it, and then they'd be screwed and need a new roof. So those situations, the first situation, the seller paid for the roof out of pocket. And then the second situation, the buyer and seller split the roof. But I just was not willing to get to that point again to where the buyer was screwed at the end of the day and had to buy a new roof. So that's mine.
Thank you, Holly.
So just being adamant on those roofs.
Very good. Let's go to Jana.
I got all kinds of lessons, but I'm gonna win today. Yay. Because we are in a season where we need to do everything, no holds barred, to get our houses sold. And so open houses and broker opens are very, very important. And had what I considered a very successful brokers open, because not for content of how many agents came, but for how much social media came off of that. I think there were 7 or 8 different reels that I did not have to create just off of this one broker's open. Your gift, and Clarissa, you held it open for me. You created 3 or 4 reels off of it just from coming in and showing it. And then we had Rachel Brenneman she's not even in our brokerage. She created 2 or 3 different reels from it and put it out there. And so be creative about that and encourage and plant those seeds with your people that are, if you've got, any of you holding opens, create those reels. It advertises you, it advertises the property, it's goodwill within the industry. And then here is my listing being exposed to all of your spheres. And so it just multiplies outward. And I had one reel that had over 1,500 views on it. And I didn't create it. So really think in terms of outside of the box, in terms of what you can do with brokers opens. And I spent a fortune on it, and you don't need to do that. It's the lesson. So.
Yeah.
Thank you, Jana.
Piggyback on that real quick.
Of course.
Just because, just about social media. I mean, we've done stuff on social media and we do stuff, but we had an agent that we know reach out to us yesterday.
Yeah. You've done a deal with her, Leanne.
Anyways, she literally asked us if she could pay us to do her social media because she's old school.
Really?
But it really does pay off because she's like, I can't tell you how it made me engage, and I'm even an agent, and it wasn't just like I was just passing by. She's like, but it made me engage. I wanted to watch it, and I'm like, okay. So social media is huge.
Yeah.
Yes.
Great.
On another note, has anybody followed the TikTok, the lady that was on Channel 5? So I was telling Bailey yesterday about finding your niche. And she's a realtor that goes to like, and finds like, affordable rentals. And that's like her thing. And she's like gained so much popularity, and that's all she does. She goes to like Highland Park and Dallas and finds things like under $1,500. And she's like gained all this. I mean, she was on the news.
That's
uh,
awesome.
Yeah.
Very
They
cool.
show and things like that.
Well, since you wanted to present, why don't you tell us your win story?
She was filling out was hers.
That was mine.
No, is it? No. You can stay there. They can see you on the camera though.
Okay. So I had to make my notes, but mine's just more like on adversity. I took a kind of hard listing a couple weeks ago. Didn't know it was going to be as hard as it was. It was a referral from a past client, a very nasty divorce. They were in foreclosure, HOA lawsuit. That's why I make all these notes. The house was nowhere near show ready. Even after I went to like 2 to 3 visits, it still wasn't. Bailey did an open house on it, so she can attest to this. Husband wanted to take an investment offer on the house of $280. I said, the wife wanted to go with me. I said, let's just put it on the market. I think we could at least get $325 for it. 5 days on the market, 2 days on the market, got a full cash offer. Then 2 days later, a murder happened on the street in Mansfield. Same streets, was all over the news, all over social media.
The weekend in my open house.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah.
I'm so
Yeah.
nervous for you.
So it wasn't really anything obviously it can happen to the farm. This is not a bad neighborhood, not a bad side of town. So we kind of had to regroup. We had,
Did they back out?
they did, they pulled. Sorry, I'm going through all my notes here. So we had over like 36 showings on this house. Feedback was needed a lot of work. House needed a lot of work. There's holes punched in the walls, flooring pulled up. It was just a mess. I did the best with what we could on the house, walking through, cleaning up, trying to, do furniture and stuff. So kind of shifted gears to a buyer's mind. Like how can I create value for a buyer, but still represent my seller, trying to get, more than what we were going to be able to get on the investment offer. Had a contractor come out that I've worked with. He did an overhaul bid on everything that needed to be done on the house, kind of set that there for people to see when they came in. And then we ended up with 2 offers and went over 5,000. So we got $330 for the house. But
Great.
it was just a lot.
That's a great learning experience for
Yes,
you.
it was. But I had 2 weeks to sell the house because literally they had an HOA lawsuit. They had, they were going to be foreclosed on, and they were going to lose every ounce of equity they had.
So you sold it cash? No.
No, but it's already gone through inspection and we'll
Okay.
got auction it tomorrow.
Great.
Appraisal and all that with all the.
Oh, it'll appraise for sure. It literally comps out about 400,000.
Wow. Okay. Great story. Great story. All
I
right.
love the public speak too, so thank you for putting me on.
You did good. You did great. All right, Tasha.
Oh, you want my story?
Yeah, you're up here
Oh my God.
by Jimmy, so people can see you.
Okay.
Well, my story will mine's probably a lesson on like winning.
I feel like we've been in a season that's been very hard to win. As certainly being in the industry for almost 12 years now, like I've had a lot of rough and tumble this year. I've been fired twice technically. Or that's how I take it. So anyways, how to win. I guess my lesson would be is just having value and abundance in almost all human relationships. That's something that I really try to practice, and I know that Holly and I've always really preached about in our business. Because we were talking about this, what to come up with. And a couple of years ago, I had a lady call me that literally had been basically blown off by a couple of agents and was really defeated. She is wheelchair bound. She lived in Irving in an apartment. Her mom had passed away and lived in Granbury and had a couple of properties there. And all these agents just wouldn't take her deal because it was like one property was worth 40,000, one was worth 60,000. So she calls me and we have a mutual connection. And I was like, you know what? I'll go. It's a mess. You can Google these, you can look them up on my MLS room. Like this trailer house is over the Brazos. Like it literally looks like the Water Boy. It's like a very desolate, like sad situation. So mom passed away. The properties are just left as is. And I'm like, you know what? Let me see what I can do. So like we try to clean it up a little bit. We call some estate people out there. We kind of sort of get it ready. We list both properties and we got her like $100,000 cash, which was like a huge blessing. Now that was a smidgen in commission, right? Like smidgen. I got like $1,900, and trust me when I say my overhead was way over that by the time I'd ridden out there and talked to the tenant next door and all this stuff. But anyways, moral of the story is like I took time to hear what this lady had to say, and I tried to provide a need because she felt so defeated. And like 3 months later, her best friend or a friend of hers called me, and like I sold her a $700,000 house. So like the moral of the story is don't blow off connections.
Right.
Everybody, you never know who somebody else is connected to. And so like just showing and hearing people's story, and maybe you don't need to be the person that represents them, but at least give them a connection to lead them in the right direction, because those relationships have always come back to me and given me a lot of value. And like another thing about abundance is treating your referral partners, your lenders, your home inspectors with dignity when you try to like give business back and forth, because I feel very fortunate as to a lot of my partners, minus my brother, because I would choke him if he used somebody else. But I have a lot of partners in title and stuff like that that have come to me and let me sell their homes or sell their kids' homes. So just relationships are valuable. Just try to point people in the right direction if you can.
Thank you, Taja. And then our last presenter will be Clarissa.
Last.
But never least.
Never least.
Yes. I guess mine's more of a lesson, not really a win. Maybe it's a win. And mine was pretty recently. It was one thing that I have learned over my career is that I always try and remember that decisions are not mine to be made when it comes to every single transaction.
Right.
Whether it's the buyer, the seller, they're not my decision. So I might not agree with the decision, but that really doesn't matter. But I also, to piggyback on that, I worked with an agent recently that was a narcissistic bully. To the point where it became so stressful for me that I almost was trying to make decisions for my client because I didn't know how to communicate to my client what was happening on the other end. And every day I had to take a deep breath and say, this is not my decision to make. I am just here to communicate to my client. Doesn't matter what this buyer and this buyer's agent are saying, doing, communicating to me. I do not have to communicate that to my client. I just need to give them the facts to make the decision. Jana actually had to help me, like, while I was dealing with one myself. Yeah. She had to actually help me, like, calm down and process and think through the fact that sometimes on the other end of the deal are things that are happening that are just out of our control that we just shouldn't have to deal with, but we have to make a fine line and like let them go off on their tangent, take a break, and then just present the facts to our clients. It can be very, very difficult because every single day of that transaction, I felt like that buyer's agent and that buyer were going to sabotage the deal because of the narcissistic bulliness that they had, that I couldn't communicate that to my client because then it would piss them off. Mm-hmm. And I didn't want that friction. So I took the brunt of it. I took the stress. I took the sleepless nights, all of that. So again, I guess the lesson is that you just have to remember that just give your clients the facts so that they can make an informed decision, but not the emotion in it. So I'm still emotional about it. It was hard.
Do we have a do not work with list that we can maybe?
We do need one.
I do not call list. I have people in my phone that say, don't answer this. Yeah.
I have a bad agent list. I have a bad agent list.
The house that I sold in North Richland Hills, and literally I had to put, I labeled her Crazy Kate because every time I answer the phone, I have to what is it now?
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah. Thank you, Clarissa. Thank you for sharing.
That was a good lesson.
That was a good lesson.
I think we've all done it.
Line on that because if it starts out ugly, it's gonna continue to be ugly, and,
Yeah.
and I vacillate on, is that in the best interest for myself? Because they're gonna keep beating them up and beating them up and beating them up. And while you can shield that emotion, they can't change the cards that you have on the table.
Yeah.
You know, and so it's a tough call. But yeah, I mean,
It closed.
crazy situation. That person that was beating us up, we ended up not coming to terms. And then I went to a networking event with a whole bunch of Remax gals. And one of the, Cindy Schmidt, you know Cindy Schmidt?
Yeah.
She says, do you have 2301 Eric Lane? I go, yeah. And she goes, I got an offer for somebody that still had your address on it for the offer.
Oh,
She said, they asked for 20,000 under and $10,000 in concessions. She was like that. I guess you didn't work with them. She goes, oh no, they were just trying to beat us up. So that kind of goes around. People, you know, when you're networking, it's kind of funny how you'll hear, oh, well, they just hop, skipped and jumped over there and tried it again.
Mhm.
Yeah, you know, so.
There's a lot of people like investors or like just you have that buyer that's just like, I just want a deal, and they're so adamant about it, you know. That's what they do. And then their agents, some of the agents, they just don't care. They're like, I could care less about our reputation. I'm just gonna go and $20,000 under. And you're like, okay, well, let me take it back. And they're like, right now, within a day. And they just keep on, you know, they don't care. They literally just don't care.
Yeah, it's the profanity and the,
Yeah.
like the bully, the ugly
Yeah.
ugliness. It's like,
See, and I'll call them out. I'll say, I will work with you, but I will not enter into a hostile or profane type of situation.
Yeah.
So who was it? Can you guys say these stuff?
The share of the mobile contact on Slack.
Hey, we're not your client. We're peers.
You want to say anything?
Yeah. Well, I was just going to,
Oh, I was gonna say.
I just wanted to open it up really quick. You know, whenever we do like wins and updates or lessons and stuff like that, I like to open it up just organically a little bit and just say, hey, they might have just a professional or personal just win, something that we can celebrate together. Like, sure, there's some good lessons that were, you know, but there's also little nuggets like wins in each one of those lessons. Like the deal actually closed, and even though that was uncomfortable and you're still emotional about it, like that made you stronger, better. Going to be more resilient as the next time you're working a transaction. Same with you, Jana. Like resiliency is the win there, in my opinion. Not to mention you closed the deal, so that's good. Didn't close the deal, but resiliency, right? It's just a little
And we're
nugget.
still on the market, so you decide.
Yeah. Is that a real win? Maybe a little bit. Might come in later, but yeah. So any organic, you know, just kind of off the cuff wins. You know, personally, professionally.
Hi, if you need to go, y'all can go.
Oh yeah. You gotta go. Yeah.
First one I thought.
Okay, I understand. Y'all doing something important. Y'all go ahead.
Unless you have a win, really quick.
So we're going to a Popeye.
Oh, right. That was a win.
That's my one.
Okay. Yeah.
my son got a job.
Hey, that's good.
And
Yeah, I like that.
You posted on Facebook, right?
Yeah, I'm super proud. As you can tell.
My son made it to his 9:30 class this morning.
Oh, responsibility going around.
I can kind of piggyback on what Tasha was saying. I had a lead, it was a mobile home sale in Weatherford, and it was cash only. There were issues, and it was a brother and a sister who lived in two different states. And dad had passed away, you know, so they were trying to sell a house. So I met him one time. They'd flown in. I met him one time, but it was just a lot of phone calls, a lot of texts. And it ended up just going through multiple investors struggling, but they have been so appreciative. And the sister is like one of my biggest social media fans, and she wrote an awesome Google review, awesome Facebook review. She'll share my posts to, you know, hey, bring my Texas friends or whatever, that kind of thing. And again, it was like, we sold it for like 140,000 cash. It was like, but I was paying it forward, and the family was so appreciative. And I know that positive, something's going to come my way. And I felt great about just being able to help everybody from beginning to end. It was a very smooth transaction. And we're just doing it, representing our company, representing myself.
People over profits, like that always sticks with me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Big win, yeah.
Yeah.
Easiest customers, marketing 101, are the referrals. The easiest customer you have are one, previous customers, if you take care of them. And the second are their referrals. Not new business. The new business with new clients is the hardest people to get. Like that is so difficult. And so as a business, if you're talking about leads, like that person is like, man, number 2 on the list. Easiest client to get. So
Yeah, I know Brian asked me and I said no, but now hearing you talking about this, like to your point, Jimmy, I have a closing today that is my 5th transaction from one closing.
oh man.
So
Wow.
like they bought a house, they sold that house, they built a house, they referred their sister to me, they referred their cousin to me. And actually this is number 6 because then the cousin referred their sister to me.
Wow.
But wait, there's more.
Probably.
Yeah, there
Probably
will be.
Yeah.
There will be.
Yeah, but that's like my GE, not even account. But I got on a floor call at Remax and I didn't know how to do anything. It's probably one of those that I cried to Brian because I didn't know how to put a contract together. But literally like 12 years later, and Dave texted me the other day. He's like, "Hey, All Star, got somebody coming your way from Southern California." And you're like, done, like 10 years. And so, yeah, they're going to become my
Cool,
friends.
man. That's some wins.
I would
Frank?
say that
Some wins.
it's super important that you guys really build great relationship across the table too, and up your networking in and out of brokerage, because we need each other as a team. We need those relationships. I mean, if you haven't been in the good season, it's a little tougher in the bad season. But just keep that in mind. Those relationships are golden. And what you can do to, bridge the gap, show up at other people's open houses.
Rachel Brennan,
Show
the best.
up
Yeah,
at
exactly.
the broker, your people in the industry, because we all got to work together to get it done.
Ashley, go ahead.
Yeah, I have a pretty recent similar situation. Have a family I've been working with in the past, and I've sold probably out of the entire family like 4 homes out of all of them, listings, buying, both sides, everything. And the families decided to purchase some land in Oklahoma, and I helped them, kind of get good areas and areas where there's no restrictions, some of their, just some of their key items that they wanted. And then I found them the perfect piece of land, and then also touched base with the realtor, who seemed just wonderful, very, very nice, very upfront, communicated wonderfully. And I sent them to her and said, they want to purchase this land. I'm not asking for a referral. This is a family I've worked with for lots of years. I just want to know that you're going to take really good care of them. And she did. She took excellent care of them. They ended up buying the land for cash. And then 2 weeks later, she sent me a really, really sweet email just saying, if I have any folks that are going to be looking in the DFW area, I will more than certainly be giving them your information because of the care and love that you gave for clients, and you weren't greedy. So, I mean, like those relationships are super important with other agents, even in other states, that can refer out to you.
Absolutely. Very good.
Very cool. Any other wins? Any other personal, professional?
You got one?
Well,
Put you on the
I
spot.
think resiliency is my.
Yeah.
No, I rebuilt a shack wall this weekend, and that was for getting ready for deer hunting season. So that was a personal win. It was it was we have 10 hunters on our deer lease, and so like me and my cousin are in charge of managing the whole place, and so getting the cabin, like it's a cabin, it's more of a shack.
I was just gonna
Yeah, cabin's a generous word. So rebuilding that, getting it ready was really good. It's a really big win for me. And my kids are both in football right now, and they're killing it. So those are my professional win. I would say we've been getting a bunch of pool leads, and then closing them, which has been really fun. And so that's been good with Phil being out. I mean, I thought I was going to be pretty nervous about it and stuff, so I've still been getting them. And so Hey guys, just another note. If you got any pool leaks, now's the time to build so you get ready and build it ready for spring. Also, we're paying out some fat checks to some agents that are doing this referral. So
How's Phil?
he's doing good. He's just, I mean, it's, you know, it's like 6 months of recovery, so he probably won't be back until January, February.
I saw that he can drive in Glen Rose.
Yeah,
I was like, that's a big one.
I know,
It's
I
a
know.
huge one.
Well, guys, I'm gonna call the meeting. I'm gonna stop the recording. Thank you all for joining us today. We'll see you guys next week. Take care.
Oh, if you guys don't follow Linda Baker, follow. Oh my gosh, she's hysterical. She's the best. Just follow her.
I do have to follow
It's this kind of digital stuff that we just were talking about.
They actually look.
She's
I prefer
she's a realtor from Atlanta.
Oh, yes.
She was like, yeah, all this kind of stuff like what we were just talking about. She does all the time.
Yeah. Hey,
Oh,
we
yeah.
want to do our second practice.